Wow, that's a hard act to follow. Yeah, I'm having the pleasure of introducing Dr. Reverend Kim Clardy right there, front row. And in response to the survey we put out, a lot of people said maybe we should have a minister or part-time minister. So in addition to having her be a guest speaker today, she's going to be making a presentation, and we're going to see how wonderful it is, and we're going to react great and give her a warm welcome. And she may be a candidate for becoming a part-time minister. So we're kind of heading in that direction. And as Ty told us, we need to have some revenue generation, so that's on the schedule to be increasing that, and then we can afford to have a minister part-time or full-time. So I think that's a good direction to go. It helps the community, it helps us grow too. So speaking of Kim, she started in 1985 when she discovered Marianne Williamson's Course in Miracles. I know probably a lot of us have read that. And she was in Santa Monica, and that got her out of the fine dining establishments and into spirituality with a lifelong dedication to helping others grow spiritually, holistically, working with corporations. She actually, from 1999 to 2009, she co-founded and served as senior minister at the Spiritual Center for Positive Living in Cameron Park. And she did some keynote speaking, various places, retreats. And in 2009, she started Seeking Clarity seminars, great play on words, I believe there, with her wife, Karen, here in the front row. So, however, she had some health challenges in 2015. And as some of us have all gone through that, it's a time to go in deep and figure out what's going on and heal yourself and work with some stuff that maybe we didn't clear up in the past. So after that, after she spent 6 years of doing that, she founded the Thriving with Clarity and Grace. That happens to be Karen's last name too. So it's kind of like a TV show, but different. Clarity and Grace, yeah. They reside in Pollock Pines, and she still dabbles in the food world, holistic cooking, and treats food as medicine, and affectionately is known as the Delicious Doula. So she loves Tahoe. There's a chance she could move up here. Then she could do more kayaking in the mountains and walk on the beach with her Labradoodle. Music is her medicine, and she offers deep dive retreats, which we're hoping to have in the next couple of weeks here. She gave us a couple offerings, and we're going to be discussing that. So in addition to just speaking, she's going to lead us down some really, looks like some good introspective ways to grow again. So I'm going to ask you to all help me welcome Kim Clardy.
Thank you, Doug. You're so funny. That is very funny. Good morning. You guys are so out there. Hello. Would you please turn to the person next to you and say, you are the light of the world, right now. You are the light of the world. Okay, now, with enthusiasm, say, I am the light of the world. It's time to wake up into this light. Good morning. We were in our little, our meditative flow state. And now I'm asking us all to awaken and awaken in our own light. For it is your light that brought you here. This morning, we are talking about several ideas, but because I spent quite a few years with Marianne Williamson early, when we were just about 60 of us at a Unitarian church in Santa Monica, long before she got so world-renowned. And it was a life-changing experience for me at that time. I had been running fine dining restaurants and executive management, pairing foods with wine and doing all that great stuff. Since I think I started as a dishwasher at 13 or something like that. And I felt called all the time for something bigger. Have y'all felt that way? Like yearning for deeper understanding, for a greater sense of connection, for something that ignites us and enlightens us to seek out greater things than maybe we had looked at before. So she was a huge game changer for me. And the title today is Love Brings Everything Unlike Itself Up. to be healed. I added the to be healed. So let's think about that. So just so you guys know, I'm not a stand-up talker. I'm going to be engaging. So get ready, because we're going to have a community conversation. I'm all about the circle, you know. I'm all about the beautiful unity that we make up whenever we come together with our hearts open, our minds open, yeah? So when you think of the idea that love brings everything, unlike itself, up to be healed, what comes up for you? Let's hear it. What comes up for you? What is it for you that you feel like is unlike love that needs to be healed? Or what might it be? Laughter is a good thing, but when it's unlike love, see, that's the key. That's good. Good to laugh at everything. When you think about love brings everything unlike itself up, what might that be, you guys? Come on, you can do this.
Criticism.
Anger, what else?
Criticism.
Overwhelmed. Oh my God, right now? Does anybody but me feel overwhelmed sometimes? You know, what else?
Criticism.
Division. That's a hard one, right? We feel separate. What else? Fear. What? Yeah, you guys see, huh? Despair. Health issues. What? Well, that's in the eye of the beholder, right? Because nothing I see or say is true for me. It's real, right, and true for me, but it may not be real, right, and true for you. Because truth is in the eye of the beholder. It is not just in what, oh, I say this is right and this is wrong. Love brings everything unlike itself up for an opportunity for what? Why? This is Earth School, y'all. You know, I don't know what this isn't, you know, I grew up in my generation here. I'm 66, 67 years old. Most of us here have experienced a lifetime of consumerism, of success orientation, of get out there and make it happen. And all of that was great, except it stopped working. Why? Something more has been called. Love brings everything unlike itself up to be healed. Because it's Earth School. I think so anyway. So the only way that I can make sense of at least my life, which has had a great amount of challenges. Anybody have any challenges in their life? Okay, good. I want to make sure that I'm not on another planet. Right? And so when those things happen, what sometimes do we do? What sometimes happens to us when things don't go our way, when health issues come up, when we've been vital and had lots of vitality, and then something happens and takes us out, and we can no longer revert back to the old ways that got us through. What happens? What do we do? Huh? We go to God, or whatever God is to us. We go to the Great Spirit, the great unifying light that lives in and through and as each one of us. So if we are recognizing and we can start to feel like, okay, this is happening. I'm not enjoying it. It's very difficult. I'm not sure even how to handle it. What can I do? Breathe. And you know what? The breath is the greatest tool we have. Lots of deep, sighing, that's a very powerful tool, and I highly recommend it. Lots of deep sighs, because that releases that pent-up energy. The other thing that I wanted to share today is how important it is that we feel what we feel in the body and not just the mind. Because when, again, we've been operating from a headspace for so long, which is exactly why I believe we are in the shape that we are in the world. We have forgotten that we are heart-based, heart math. The mathematics of love is eternal and affects all things that exist. This ability that we have to bring love to non-love is one of the most powerful things we can do. Not so easy, is it? Is it? Okay, I'm gonna have to come down there. I'm used to come on now. This is an exciting day. This is when we all come together and we look at things differently. Wayne Dyer, when you change the way you look at things, look at change. When you change the way you look at things, you look at change. Why? How does that work? The energy and the inner chi. I'm a yogi. I've done a lot of work around Paramahansa Yogananda's work, and my wife makes a lot of the prayer malas for Ananda up in Nevada City, and we are part of the leadership teams up there. And for me, you know, Yogananda said, and I think he was quoting maybe Patanjali or somebody, but he said, God sleeps in the rocks. God dreams in the plant life. God awakens in the animals. And God realizes itself in the human race. That's a tall order, y'all. Ye are gods. We are designed for something far greater than religion has ever told us. Religion was created to help control the chaos. It was necessary and it filled its purpose. We are no longer there. We are in a new yuga. We are in a new curve, a new bend of time where the divine feminine is roaring in, especially this month in our Leo month. It is roaring in and creating itself in, through, and as each and every one of us. It's irrelevant whether we're male or female. Some of the most feminine friends I have are deep spiritual men because they're what makes the feminine. What is feminine? What is feminine? What do you think? Yes, it's a flowing, moving, it's like water. We are being asked to be like water. What happens when water rushes through the rocks and down the river and it comes up? Some rock has come up in the path and then all of a sudden we come up against it. Does water go, oh my God, that was awful, I'm leaving? What does it do? It goes around and it flows around. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't feel the impact of it. It absorbs it. So when I work with people and they say, I am hurting, my first question is, where in your body are you feeling that? Why do you think I say that? What are we all conditioned to do? Get over it. Keep it right up here. Think our way out of it. Go ahead and go do something to fix it. But if we don't fully embrace and feel whatever trauma, whatever disappointment, whatever rock comes up in our way, we must absorb that, feel that, and fully say, yes, this is happening, and I am going to allow it to move through my body, through my heart, which is called Tonglen in the Buddhist community. It's when we breathe in the dark, we transform it into light and exhale it as this high divine light. That is what we are all doing right now. We are all taking in the darkness, but the question is, are we able to transform those things, those people, those events, those situations that happen that we may not feel aligned with? How can we not go to the old way and let go? That's right. Let go of it. But not until we have fully alchemized it and absorbed it, alchemized it, said, yes, this has happened, I am feeling this, and I am ready now to use it like clay, to use it like paint or music or like food to create a feast, to take our pain and turn it into art. Because every one of us in this room expresses ourselves somehow in some artistic way. The question is, what art are we creating? How is it showing itself? How am I expressing my authentic self, which doesn't walk around saying, I'm just going to say positive things and, pray about it. That's okay. That's fine. But it hasn't been working in the last 30, 40 years. What does work is when we take it and change it. Yes. Put action in the word, dude. That's right. Do it. Take the heart work, the alchemic work, the transformative work of the body, and turn it into, now it can go to the mind, where the mind can seek higher ground to have more of a flow. Yeah? And so that's why I love one of the books I'm writing is called Earth School, and it's exactly about this. I don't know about anybody here, but I was born right into opportunity to learn, and it never stopped. To remember. To remind each other by our actions how to remember. Do you want know-it-alls? You're absolutely right, my love. You're absolutely right. Out of the mouths of children, and that's us, the mouths of babes, our innocent selves, our true selves, the selves of us before the humans told us what to think and what things were. Can you imagine for a minute if you were just plopped down on the planet for the first time in front of a giant redwood and you had no word for it? What would you call it? What would you say in the majesty? Wow. It would not have a mind, it would have a heart reaction. It would be like, oh, majesty, beauty, fantastic. And those words, we wouldn't have the words, so we would be expressing them through our bodies and feeling them as high frequency and emanating that high frequency out into everything we come in contact with, thereby creating a softer, kinder, more loving landing as we move and have our being. This is a first time that we are really been given 100% encouragement to take accountability and responsibility for the challenge and the traumas that we have endured in our life, and no longer look at it or blame it or say he, she, or they, but to say this event happened and it did not happen to me. And let me tell you, I can say this because I've had a lifetime of events that absolutely allow me to say it. They didn't happen to me. They happened for me. Now, why would something that you may think is unspeakable, how could that be something that would happen for me? What do you think, you guys? Yes. They are lessons that God would have me learn. Why? Do you think, so the whole patriarchal idea about punishing God, who do you think they made the image of God after? All those religions. Themselves. If they truly make an image out of God, that image is made in unconditional love. Unconditional caressing and compassion and absolute, you got this. You got this. Just do it. That's right. So when we come up against our life challenges and we start to feel like, well, they, he, she did this to me, how does that serve you? And then we go and we call our friends. Hello, friend. Let me tell you how awful this person is. Let me tell you what they did to me. Let me tell you what this organization did to me. What are we doing when we do that? Yes, but and what is the bigger picture of that? What energy are we cultivating and then putting back out into the world? Victim! We are not broken. Nobody is broken. Everybody has within them the divine ability to heal thyself. Physician, heal thyself. And in doing that, that may require a village, a tribe, a circle, a partner, a guru, a leader, of someone that knows a little bit more than me, that is speaking from the place of unconditional love. That is where we thrive. That is where we rise up. But is this easy, you guys? Is it easy for you every time something happens that's challenging to just walk forward and go, that's all right, it was happening for me, I got the lesson, moving on? What does it take to do that? Not so much years, well, maybe, but we can start it in the holy instant. Course in Miracles says, do you want to be right or happy? Happy. Can we be happy if we're going around smearing the garbage all around and getting other people to join in on it with us? Yeah, well, that's the thing, is it doesn't love it at all. It brings it down. It completely plummets any opportunity we have for grace and any opportunity we have for growth. But that's okay. You know, I like to say to people all the time, you don't have to get it in this life. You can just keep coming back and going over and over and over. The ancestral wounds, you know, I'm a guide for Gene Keys by Richard Rudd, and he talks about this a lot, is that our ancestral wounds, every child that's born in their ancestry takes on the trauma and the issues as well as the gifts of the generation that came before it, and particularly the family line that we're in. And so do you see how that might be the perfect earth school beginning? Because it wasn't like, oh, here's your perfect family, have your perfect life. That's some kind of heaven experience somewhere. But this is not, this is for us to be the way showers. Turn to the person next to you right now and say, you are the way shower. Come on. Come on. You are the way shower. I am the way shower. I am the way shower. Why does he, oh, are you the way shower? How are you the way shower? By your ability to forgive yourself is how you are the way shower. Because how we talk to ourselves, how we respond to ourselves, no matter what you think, that is how you are treating others. Maybe not right away, but that's what comes through. How, if we do not heal our own ancestral trauma and wounds, then we simply spread it around, giving it to everybody else, and getting a group dense energy on it. You are so pretty. So this is a time for us, you guys, to say, okay, I choose to be the way shower. And all that means is that I'm going to be honest, open, transparent. And I'm not going to have an agenda when I'm in your presence. I'm going to listen, I'm going to feel, and then I'm going to respond with unconditional love. Because my suffering is the same as your suffering, and my grace is the same as your grace. And the more that we turn that into an artistic opportunity to express ourselves as a light being in some way, the more our lives take on purpose. Greater than the job, greater than the car, or the boat, or the place, or the thing, or the stuff. This now has given us the opportunity, each person in this room, to have an incredible impact on every person you come in contact with by saying, healing is happening. Healing is happening. And I am healing. And if I am healing, you are healing. Healing is happening. Nature is always changing, and we are part of nature. Healing is a return to wholeness, to our holiness. Healing is happening every moment of every day. If we saw healing as a return to wholeness, about growing, evolving. We would see it as we are transforming everybody we come in contact into that holy and wholeness of being. I wonder, is it our obsession for forever being in full bloom that makes us feel broken when things change for us? When we experience anything other than what we are as ideal, what I want you to know is that you are not broken. You're simply a part of ever-changing life, ever-changing nature. Change is your natural state. You were never meant to stay the same, to be one single shape, size, age, way, expression. You are not normal. And that's normal. You're always becoming more and more of your full self, because love brings everything unlike itself up to be whole. Thank you.